Welcome to today's live chapter reading of Engaño, a Carson action thriller by Lance Charnes. Bratislava, Slovakia. West of the warehouse, a black Audi SUV pokes its nose around the street corner, then backs out of sight like a cat waiting for the mouse to get closer. Carson kicks the roll-up doors jam. Shit, they're here already. She digs in her pocket for the key to her rented VW Tiguan, parked a few steps away. The remote fob comes out in pieces, thanks to Powell, the big moose slumped on the metal flat-barred cart next to the SUV. She fumbles the key into the driver's door lock. It's stiff. Nobody ever uses the physical key. Eventually, she gets the engine started and the back doors open. On her way into the warehouse, she stops by the cart. Powell's been a pain in the ass and tried to break her spine, but the poor dumb bastard was only doing what he was told. If she leaves him, the opposition will kill him, probably after torturing him for info he's too dense to have. Leave him. Can't. It's like leaving a dog to be kicked to death. She kicks Powell's leg. Want to live? Get in the back and lie down. Now. Carson gimps back to the small safe. She needs to slow down the opposition so she and Powell can get away. Those assholes followed her all over Bratislava. There's no doubt in her mind what they'll do to her if they catch her. They've already killed 2 people she talked to about the red and white Sparta Prague thumb drive now hiding in the duffel slung over her shoulder. They'll probably want the 20,000 euros in cash and the bottle of good whiskey she took from the safe, too. After a few moments of scheming, she pulls the pin on an old Russian hand grenade in the safe, sets the nearby baggie of coke on the grenade's spoon, and then almost closes the door. She hobbles as fast as she can to the SUV. Powell's collapsed on the back seat with his feet poking out the open door. She slams the door, climbs behind the wheel, then stomps the gas. 3 black Audi SUVs race out to block the road ahead of her. Grab and hang on, Powell. The Tiguan goes backwards surprisingly fast. To her left, the rusted river barges choking the industrial marina blur by. Carson jams on the brakes an instant before the SUV reaches the warehouse's complex's far end. The Audis charge toward her in a file. Get greedy, assholes. Stop for the safe. The front 2 SUVs swerve into Powell's warehouse. The third one races towards her. She shifts into first gear and floors it. The Tiguan leaps forward. The distance between her and the Audi shrinks crazy fast. If this doesn't work, I hope the airbags do. At the last moment, the Audi swerves and crashes into a rusted shipping container. Its airbags work fine. Carson tears her eyes away from the rearview mirror so she can concentrate on avoiding the potholes and derelict cars. 126, are you there? Olivia's creamy Oxbridge voice cocoons in her ear through the open phone connection. She keeps track of DeWitt agency associates in the field, helps them get what they need for their projects, and makes sure they're paid. A little busy. The client will take charge of your man. I'll text the rendezvous point. Are you well? Carson glances in the mirror. Her face looks like bad Halloween makeup. Every part of her body aches from Powell, now groaning in the back seat, trying to smash her bones into dust. Crawled through the armpit of Bratislava to find the fucking drive. Ate bad food. Got the shit kicked out of me. Feel like a truck hit me. I hate this fucking job. She sighs. Above average. Harborfront, Toronto. Carson scowls across the 2-top table at Brianna, the best of her very few female friends. I didn't forget my birthday. I'm ignoring it. Brianna almost snorts beer out of her nose. So it'll go away? They're not like stray dogs, you know. More like horny guys. The more you ignore them, the more they think it's a come-on. When I hit 40, I'll start going backward. Why wait that long? Why not start now? Let me know when you're 19 again. You were a hell of a lot more fun then. Carson sighs. I know. She bites off another mouthful of downtown brown ale and watches the black and white Hanlan's Point ferry churn across Toronto's inner harbor. It's a perfect Ontario summer. 25 degrees Celsius, a huge blue sky smeared with wispy clouds, only 50% humidity, no wind worth mentioning. 2.5 more hours of daylight and a jaunty crescent moon hanging in the west over Brianna's head. The harbor and Lake Ontario stretch flat and blue off to the horizon. These are the days she likes to remember when it's January and negative 15 degrees with the lake wind blasting snow sideways through the street. As usual for a summer evening, the red brick Amsterdam brew house is busy, its harborside top deck full. How Brianna scored a prime table like this is beyond Carson, though she's glad for it. One of her favorite places in the GTA with one of her favorite people. Too bad about the birthday part. Brianna sets down her glass of Bone Shaker IPA and pats Carson's hand. You okay? Still hurt from the last job? Bratislavia? Sorta. Bruises are gone, lips almost healed. Back still sore. Almost 3 weeks. It's taking longer to mend these days. I just feel old. You can't be old. We're the same age, and I'm sure as hell not old. It's mileage, not years. Brianna shakes her head, then takes another swipe from her beer. So where's your next trip to? Don't have one yet. Know how you want something to happen because now sucks, but you don't want it because you know the new thing will suck worse? That's where I'm at. At least you get to go somewhere. All I do is sit behind a radio and push fire engines around. I swear my butt gets wider every day. I go to shitholes like Milan and get the shit beat out of me. Careful what you wish for. Brianna knows all about Carson's 2 jobs. She's the only civilian who does. Anything she tells Bree will stay between them. She knows enough of Bree's secrets to put her in jail, while Bree knows enough to get Carson killed. Being able to unload to someone she trusts completely is a luxury Carson knows not a lot of people have. But sometimes she simply doesn't want to talk about it. How's Jason? Bree's mostly steady boyfriend and EMT with the Toronto Fire Services. Brianna puts on that goofy smile she always wears when she talks about Jason. He's good. We're waiting for the results from his captain's test. She holds up crossed fingers. It's his second try. He says if he makes it, he'll make an honest woman out of me. What, he's a magician now? Brianna sticks out the tip of her tongue. How's your guy? What guy? Knowing perfectly well who Bree means. The Russian guy, the one who keeps calling you. What's his name? Something? Rogoskin? He's not my guy. He's a guy I met in Ukraine. Who keeps calling you? You gonna go see him? Well, Carson wanted to skip telling Bree until afterwards. Now that Bree's asked, that's not an option. The one rule they have is that they never lie to each other. Yeah, Sunday. Bree's eyes light up like there's a nuclear reactor behind them. Sunday? Like 6 days from now? She whoops, drawing looks from nearby tables. That's awesome. Is he stoked? Are you stoked? How long are you staying? He's living in that mansion, right? What? Carson holds up a stop hand. Cool your jets. Breathe. This is why she didn't want to tell Bree until after the trip. Yeah, he's jazzed. He keeps coming up with stuff he wants to do and things he wants to show me, and I keep saying, chill, I want to relax, I want to talk. There's a lot we need to talk about. The kind of stuff you don't want to go over the phone. That's what you do after sex, right? Bree, Carson growls, then brings up yesterday's Rogoskin text and lays her phone in front of Brianna. Here's the latest. Bree picks up the phone and scrolls with her thumb. Her eyebrows arches. It's in Russian. Oh, sorry. Carson pushes down the phone's top edge so she can see the screen. Rogoskin sent her 2 photos. She points to the first, a shot of a wooden sunbed in full sunshine. This one says, your place. The next picture shows the edge of an infinity pool that almost matches the Mediterranean behind it. That one says, your view. Aw, that's so sweet. She drops the phone on Carson's paper placemat. He's into you. Why aren't you excited about this? What's wrong? Bree's right. It's awfully sweet coming from a retired Russian special ops officer. Remember the part about he's 15 years older than me? So? You were just bitching about how old you feel. Maybe you're the same age mentally. Nice. I don't want to build up a lot of expectations. Carson's looking forward to the trip. The man she's gotten to know over the phone seems a lot steadier than most of the men she's been with. Still, her history doesn't give her a lot of reason for optimism. She slams the rest of her beer. What's the point? It won't. Before Carson can finish, her phone starts playing Bowie's Stranger When We Meet. her ringtone for a caller who's not in her contacts. She doesn't recognize the number, but it starts with a +43 and it's 12 digits long. Vienna. She knows exactly who's calling. Damn it. Once she gets to a solitary place on the walkway by the marina, Carson unmutes her phone and growls, "Что? Russian for what?" Laraka? A familiar, deep, rough Russian voice that's covered a lot of road. Rodovsky, the only man who can get away with using that little girl diminutive of her name. You are always so abrupt when I ring. Did I interrupt something? Dinner with a friend. For your birthday? My best wishes to you. A man friend, perhaps? Why is everybody so hot to hook me up? None of your business. You're up late. When you are as old as I am, you sleep less. Also, a very good friend woke me with an urgent request. Tell me, Miss DeWitt has no plans for you in the near future? Not that she's told me. Not that it would matter. Rodovsky gets first dibs on her. Very good. Do you know the name Oleg Germanovich Baranov? Carson paces along the railing that separates the concrete pavers from the water. No. Should I? You should. He is the Russian Minister of Internal Affairs, otherwise known as the MVD. I always make certain I am good friends with the minister, whoever he is. It is very good for my business. His business is being the Pakan, godfather of the Solnitsevskaya Bratva organization in Vienna. The Solntsevo gang is one of the Russian mafia's largest offshoots. Carson's tied to Rodovsky now because her father was incredibly stupid about whom he borrowed money from to start a security company that failed. Glad you got a social life, Carson grumbles. I care. Why? Laraka. She hates that nickname. Please. Oleg Germanovich has a number of business interests that happen to coincide with my own. Also, he controls the Politia, the main office for drug enforcement, and the main office for migration. You can imagine how this interests the Bratva. So when my good friend Oleg Germanovich rings after midnight, I do answer the phone and listen carefully. Just as when I ring you, you answer and listen carefully, yes? Carson does, but wouldn't admit it under torture. What does your good friend want in the middle of the night? Rodovsky clears his throat. He has a daughter, Victoria Olegnova, a girl and very intelligent. A lovely girl and very intelligent. She graduated with honors from Cambridge University 2 years ago. She is also very willful and independent, much as I imagine you were at her age. I was a cop at her age. I know. Still, I like to think that you were as hard-headed and rebellious then as you are now. I say that with great affection. I have 3 sons, and each is a perfect apparatchik. They bore me. Carson's always uncomfortable with these late night for him calls. Rodovsky tells her things she'd rather not know about him. He also takes a long time to get to where he's going. She doesn't want to be his surrogate daughter or confidant or whatever he thinks she is. They have a business arrangement that works completely in his favor, that's all. Let me guess. Victoria doesn't want to come home and marry some nice Russian oligarch and start calving. Calving? He sighs. You spent too much time on farms in your younger days. No, Victoria has been running wild around the Mediterranean for the past 2 years. She goes to parties and nightclubs and consorts with inappropriate men and spends her money foolishly. Oleg Germanovich has indulged her until now. He wants her to come home to Moscow so she can start learning his businesses. He wants her to take over when he retires. Isn't that usually the son's job? Yes, if there are sons. Baranov has none, only 2 daughters. The younger one, Valeria, is also very pretty, but not nearly as intelligent as her sister. She will be one who marries the oligarch and calves. That is not the point. Her father has been trying for 6 months to bring Victoria home. He has sent several of his men to fetch her. She always gets the better of them and escapes. So Oleg Germanovich calls his good friend for help. Can I use my resources to bring his older daughter, the apple of his eye and dagger in his heart, back to her home and family? And of course, I say yes. Of course, Carson knows what's next. How many Boyeviki for you? There's no reason to think that Bratva muscle can reach Victoria if MVD muscle cannot. I want to try something different. Send a woman, someone who can speak her language, maybe who is or was like her. Reason with her. Convince her that playtime is over and it is time to become an adult.